Right, so has this worked? It looks as though yes, it has worked. Because I've just started a new way of recording things to make YouTubing a lot easier. So it looks as though it works. It looks as though it is working, and we are going to go in game and introduce our first players here. So let's get into this. We're actually going to be starting in the upper right hand corner, or just kind of the upper side of the map here on Catalina, this 3-player map. Starting off with a PvP in this best of 7 all kill. We have our Blue Protoss player from Alternate. It's Nomi. So as I said, Alternate actually placing quite well so far, but they're actually kind of missing a couple of results. They've not played against EC Visualize from week 4 yet, and they've not played against Mouse Control from week 1 yet, so they're missing a couple of games, but taking down Team Extreme Supremacy 4-1 in week 2, week 3, 4-3 victory against Nuit Blanche. It looks quite good for them. They're looking, you know, if they could actually beat Vega Squadron today, they're probably going to be one of the favourite teams to then move on into the playoffs. Then Group A, a group which is full of teams such as ESC, Icy Box, My Insanity, and so on. So it's a tough group, but Vega Squadron will definitely be one of these teams people are expecting to see in the playoffs. So a victory here today for Alternate could mean wonderful things about how the season continues on. Over here in the 9 o'clock position, we do have, representing Vega Squadron, it's Freya. He came out of retirement about a month, 2 months ago now. He competed in DreamHack Moscow, where he did make the round of 16 before being knocked out by Happy. What did he make the round of 8? I think it was the round of 16. So yeah, he's here he is playing for Vega Squadron, who are currently 3-1 in the SC2 Improved Team League Season 3, with their loss coming from My Insanity. So no real surprises there. They currently placed 3rd. So these guys right next to each other in the current standings of the group, and that will of course be very important as to who takes the victory here today. It'll be very important to see who's going to start to open up a little bit of a lead on the others in that Group A of the competition, guys. So yeah, how is everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well. We do have a couple of gases up here for both of these players. Nomi very slow to put his workers into gas. Just 2 workers on each, whereas Freya has 3 workers on each, so a slightly more gas heavy build from Freya. His initial gas came down a little bit faster as well, so he's about 40 gas up already here, and he is actually proxying a pylon down to the bottom right hand side of the map. So Freya has actually come straight over here. He hasn't bothered scouting in either position, and oh my god, Nomi is doing the exact same thing. So it looks as though my guesses would be probably proxy Stargate, although I guess this could be a proxy Twilight Council with the way this is placed, but you know, it's placed so that it can kind of go between either base. I don't know. It could be anything from Freya. I think almost definitely a proxy Stargate from Nomi, because it's much more likely to be scouted, so it's much more for Nomi. Oh, a gateway? What? Really? What is this? The Stardate gate does come down here for Freya, so Freya kind of knows what's up. He knows what he's going to do. So he's going to throw down the Stargate. I'm not too sure about this gateway in the middle of the map right now from Nomi. Is he going to 4-gate or something? Maybe, I mean, he's chrono boosting his gateway though, so he's going to chrono boost out a Stalker here. Maybe just to wait to make sure you can clean up this probe first. What is this gateway going to do? Is he just going to rush? Well, there's another gateway coming down, so he must just be looking for some kind of mega aggression here. Nomi really trying to throw off his opponent. Now there is this proxy Stargate which is about to finish up when we're about to see an Oracle come out of here, most likely. So how much damage can Freya get done with this? Does Nomi leave some units back at home to defend? How is this going to work out? It's going to be a very aggressive 3-gateway play from him, and he will actually have Stalkers going towards his opponent's base very quickly from the middle of the map. However, that's not a great thing for Nomi at the same time, because again, what is there here to actually defend from an Oracle right now? Honestly, nothing at all. So this Oracle, which is being chrono boosted out, may very well just put Nomi to a complete standstill, because it's already on the way across the map. Another Stalker from that first gateway in the main base is heading across the map, and this is just something Nomi has not accounted for at all. One more Stalker about to pop from the main base, another gateway being added on here. Warp Gate's not even close to finishing, it's about 50 seconds away. It's much faster than Freya's Warp Gate, but how does he deal with this Oracle in his main base? I don't know if he can, so it's going to become a little bit of a base trading situation. Nomi starts running away with his probes as a single Stalker comes out, and of course eventually he will be able to clean this up. But I mean, eventually it's actually going to be the Oracle which runs out of energy first. Now at the same time, Stalkers come up into the main base of Freya, but get turned away pretty quickly. Of course, this Warp Gate is about to finish for Nomi, so that's going to be there much faster. He's going to have a lot more warp-ins. As this Oracle comes back in, he starts picking off more and more workers, down to 8, 7, 6 workers now. Nomi is really in trouble in terms of his worker count. He might lose every single worker. He's got 2 workers left, one of them in the main base, the other's on the other side of the map. And with 1 worker left, Nomi just has no economy to make this work anymore. And all Freya has to do is buy a little bit more time. A probe comes forward here from Nomi. He's actually going to take some minerals back home. As 6 Stalkers and a Mothership Core is what it's going to be come down to right now. If Warp Gate's still not finished, so again, time is kind of what Nomi needs to play with now. He just needs to go with this as soon as he can. If you can take down both of these pylons and empower Warpgate, that would be pretty huge. Probes are actually being pulled here. Warpgate looks as though it might end up finishing. The Stalkers are going to start going down. The Stalkers will have to step away from these probes as well. And Freya with 1 probe is going to keep 2 Stalkers now. He's going to keep on kiting backwards. His Warpgate is so close to finishing. He's got a lot of money to spend as well. As Nomi comes forward with everything that he can. I don't know what would actually be best for him to target now. He's going for some Stalkers again. Probes pulled once more. Oracle's actually going to come in. You know, any little bit of DPS that they can add on is going to be great, and they will start hitting down on these Stalkers. One of these Stalkers has fallen. There's a few left, and Oracle falls as well as Zealot warps in to help against these probes. This is a really weird scenario now, and it's kind of still really close. There's 2 more Stalkers coming from Freya. That's the last of his money here. That Zealot gets surrounded, but probes continue to fall as, you know, he struggles to have high ground vision. This Oracle's going to go down now. This is so close as Nomi starts to come up the ramp. A sentry's being warped in for Freya, and that could make all of the difference right now as this Stalker's actually get up the ramp, though. 1 Stalker left behind, but is it enough? I think he might be able to still break through here. It's 4 Stalkers against 2 Stalkers, and there's still a Stalker on the ramp as well. The probes are a huge factor here as these Stalkers continue to work away. This Stalker gets up the ramp as well. Oh my god, what is this game? Is going so close. He's actually going to lose one of the Stalkers to the probes, and this is a huge mistake now as the sentry's going to go down. Probes still remain, but it looks as though Nomi might have just done it. But no, there's a Mothership Core and a 4 overcharge. The Stalkers need to get out of there. They need to escape, and one of them does. But it buys him so much time to mine with, and so much time to mine, and in fact this Stalker probably can't even take on the Mothership Core on its own. Now Nomi does have a single probe back at home, slowly working away at mining. What can this probe bring in? I mean, this probe actually basically has to find a way to get another Stalker here, because otherwise this is over. I mean, this is already crazy. Now a single probe, he has the first shot from Freya, so Nomi's going to lose his last probe. The Mothership Core is chasing the Stalker away, and Nomi, I mean, surely this game does not reset now. 1 probe against 5. Surely it does not. Nomi is not mining at all now as his probe tries to escape this single probe as well. The Stalker's trying to play games with this Mothership Core, but there's a Stalker from Freya, and oh my god, he just clinches it and takes the victory here in our first game of the day. And we are getting set to go into this game number 2 of Vega Squadron versus Team Alternate. Freya versus Lambo. And we are loading up into this game in just a couple of moments. We're halfway there, just over halfway there. That's scary. Okay, there's the StarCraft. There's the StarCraft. It's okay, guys. It's around. Okay, so here we go. It's a best of 7, and we're actually going to be starting with our player in the lower left-hand corner here. He's going to be the Teal Zerg player, our second player out from Team Alternate Attacks here today. It's Lambo. A key player for them in the last season of the Team League, where he helped them to get 6th position in the group stage, very close to qualifying to the playoffs though. I mean, a lot of teams were literally, I think it was 3 or 4 teams were tied on map score for the 4th playoff position from Group B last season. So, and Alternate were one of them. So a little bit unfortunate there. Lambo, formerly of Cascade as well, he played for them in the Team League as well quite a bit too. So he's very experienced here in the SC2ITL. And we're hoping to see some great games from him today, and to make this a little bit more of a series, and hopefully not much of a whitewash. So, in the upper right hand corner we do have the green Protoss player from Vega Squadron. Last season this team did come 2nd place in the Team League. A surprise defeat for 0-4, all killed by Optimus from AT Gaming in the Grand Finals. A little bit of a disappointing end for them, but I mean, now there is only one way for Vega Squadron to go, and that is upwards and look for the championship here in Season 3. Representing them right now and taking them to a 1-0 lead against Alternate, the Green's Protoss player is Freya. Alright guys, alright, so how are we doing in the chat? The chat's a little bit quiet. We've got Samsung Jackets in here, we've got Guildhall in here as well. How are you guys doing? Come on guys, we've got Raymick in here as well, so come on guys, let's hear some support. Hello Randall, who says hello with a question mark. Chat broken. That's what I'm feeling, man. Feels a little bit broken, doesn't it, when the feels a little bit broken when it's like this, when it's so quiet. So come on guys, do talk to us. It's nice when you talk to us and let us know who you're supporting and whatever else. We do have an Overlord here starting to make its way across the map. Of course, we'll be getting into position to scout a little bit later on. As Freya has got a first cell on the way. We'll see whether he lets that complete or not. Just single gas right now, as he's just looking to go for a Nexus fairly early on in this game, it would seem, unless he's going to, I mean, he doesn't have a mothership core on the way. I mean, he can't have a mothership core on the way because he doesn't have a cybernetics core finish, so I don't know what I'm saying that for. It does just look like he wants to put his Nexus down here in the next few moments. We do have this hatchery halfway done here for Lambo. He did open hatchery with a pool first, so he's got his first couple of lings actually going to be able to head across the map in a couple of moments. As Zealot for Freya does finish, which could suggest that maybe he wants to go for some kind of Stalker Mothership Core Zealot pressure across the map. Definitely a possibility as he does start to Chrono Boost out that Mothership Core, currently delaying his Warp Gate. Throws down his Nexus as well, but still no sign of the Stalker coming out either, so let's just see what he does with the next set of minerals and gas, and it will actually be the choice of the Warp Gate starting up here. So not going to delay this Warp Gate for all too long. Now a couple of lings do see a probe leaving here, and they will actually, one of them will be left to tag along with that to make sure it doesn't get off to anywhere too sneaky. Stalker now on the way. First ling is actually going to start picking away at the pylon at the front. Nothing for him to go into the main base for, because the Overlord's just been in the main base and seen absolutely everything there is to see. Single gas, sees that Warp Gate start. He knows there's a Mothership Core out, so nothing for this ling to see. He's just going to chill out with the natural until he's turned away by the Zergling. Zealot's going to come across and take the tower, and this probe is coming across here, and he will spot this third base, which is on the way up for Lambo now, and that's just over halfway done. So Freya getting the information he needs, which is that yes, Lambo has chosen to play with 3 bases, or 3 hatcheries before his gas comes in, and this probe is going to get very, very low, and I think these Zerglings might still catch it. That Zealot actually helped it out a little bit by blocking the Zerglings just a little bit, so he'll give it maybe one more hit here. Is it going to get away? I don't think it will. I think that Zergling will catch it, and the probe goes down. However, Mothership Core and Sorg have been working away at an Overlord here, so Overlord nearly going down, but not quite. These lings still alive. First probe for Freya has fallen, and when he reaches the front here, he'll actually confirm that 3 more gateways are on the way from Freya. So straight away here, Lambo is going to be saying to himself, right, interesting indeed. This is a very interesting start from his Freya. These 3 extra gateways means he is going to be looking to get aggressive, and we do actually have a pylon and a Zealot already down here. Lings have already found these though, so the Zealot's going to go down. I mean, the pylon has finished, but these Lings are actually going to target down the pylon, because only a Stalker here to really deny it. Another pylon coming up to the right, but this is a little bit annoying for Freya, because it will delay him a little bit. 2 Queens are positioned here, 16 more Lings on the way now. They are slow Lings. Gas was only taken a little while ago. In fact, only you know, there's been very little gas mined at all for Lambo, only 20. So it's going to come down a lot to just how many slow lings can he mass up. He's got 3 queens, he's got this spine crawler in position as well. And it's going to be a combination of everything right now to turn away this very aggressive attack from Freya. I mean, Freya's still on a single gas at home, so his follow-up to this is going to be very, very weak if he doesn't do some major damage. So he really needs to, he really is looking to break through right now. As more Zealots warp in, he's going to be looking to break this third base, but will it happen? Spine Crawler, 3 queens, Transfuse is now available to keep this Spine Crawler alive a little longer, and the first Zealots are going down very quickly, in fact, as these Stalkers move forward to try and help out. More Lings coming in, the Lings actually dying very, very quickly, but all the Zealots have gone down, and with the Zealots going down, the next round of Lings should really be able to help out, you know, just turn away the Zealots again. It looks as though there's going to be more than enough here for Lambu. He's trying to get a creep tumor forward. That will actually be killed off here. Now, he does have a Transfuse, remember, on this Spine Crawler, and he does use it right now. Some Lings are starting to stream in, but there's only a few of them at a time. 10 more on the way. Lambo did actually take an opportunity to drone up a little bit more, which may have been a mistake for him right now, because at the moment, we're seeing the Protoss player Freya continue to push forward, and he's actually going to break through the defenses here at this third base, and the Queens are going to maybe start falling now. This Queen with the energy to Transfuse is again very, very low. 3 seconds away from a Transfuse from its friend here, and that's what it's really going to be holding out for, as the Spine Crawler is actually killed off, and Lambo continues to kind of sit in a little bit of trouble right now. There's a Transfuse on the Queen, more Lings coming in, and I mean a lot more Lings coming in, as another round of Zealots has been warped in as well, but the Queens are continuing to fall. 18 more Lings still in the production tab. Is it going to be enough as these extra 4 Zealots come forward here? Is this third base going to be truly broken? And we do see some Roaches starting up in production as well right now. Lambo's had that Roach run finished, so over time this does get easier for Lambo, and there's still not too much of a follow-up at home for Freya. He has started up a Robo facility, he's going into Immortal, so he's going to follow this up with an Immortal all-in. Has he done enough damage? Has he delayed the economy of Lambo enough? Has he forced him to trade too inefficiently to be able to hold on to the counter? Oh, this is bad. He's got 5 drones now, all of a sudden just not doing anything. and that's not good for him at all as the Roach comes forward and will start to hell out. 10 more Roaches on the way, and again 10 Roaches are going to be great here because this is primarily a very Zealot heavy army, and with 10 Roaches, I mean, he can start stir stepping, he can start kiting to his heart's content as a couple of Zealots in the front will begin to fall here. So Zealot's actually going down, and now I think Freya, he's just warped in another round of Zealots, but with so many Roaches on the way out, I think Lambo is probably going to be able to turn this around. Another Stalker goes down here. These Zealots have to be very, very careful. They will start to run and get off of the creep now. Zergling speed has finished, so he's actually going to start forcing these units to fight. He will be able to surround here with the Zerglings and allow the Roaches to catch up. And in fact, Freya looks as though he might be about to start losing everything. He warps in another few Zealots, but I don't think this was the place to warp them in. Maybe back at home where things are a little bit safer, as all of these units are just getting caught, and I mean, the Zealots aren't going to get away. They're surrounded by the Lings, and the Lings should go hunt down these Stalkers now. I'm not sure if he will be able to get a surround on those or not. 2 Immortals and a single Sentry here. Freya, I mean, his follow-up to this is just not going to be that strong. That's the problem. I mean, what's his follow-up going to be? I mean, he's lost a lot of units here. Resources lost shows the Zerg has traded less efficiently. But he'll take an opportunity here to start a couple more drones, starts up his lair as well, and starts up some overlords to get out of this supply block so he can keep on making units for this all-in, which he should be able to see coming. Another Zealot just warped in, he's just spotted this, so he should be able to identify here, right, you know, you really are sticking to being aggressive because you're still warping in aggressively. Moving forward, Frey, he doesn't want to fight just yet. He's got 2 more warp gates coming online very shortly. He's got a warp prism coming across the map to help him with some micro as well, so he doesn't want to fight just yet. He wants to just pressure and maybe force his opponent into just making a mistake. Maybe there's not any force fields really with this army. A single Sentry is all there is because again he's been on a single gas all of this game. It's a very all-in strategy which Freya is going for right now, and is it going to be pulled off? Is he going to be able to pull it off here? As the Zealots start to warp in out of the warp prism, 5 Zealots at a time. There is a 6 gateway up as well, so may see 1 more as we do see this attack begin to come forward. 4 force fields is all he has to work with right now. 4 force fields, 2 Immortals, and a ton of Zealots to tank. Is it going to be enough? Well, here we go. Time warp initially is pretty nice, and this factory will start to take a little bit of damage here, but one of these Immortals is right in the front. Nice force fields to kind of block out a lot of these Roaches. Zealots are taking so much damage, though, and there's just nothing here at all to really tank for this. Uh-oh. Is this me? No, this is Freya, okay. So we have a little bit of a spike here, guys, as Freya is beginning to drop from the game. So hopefully we can get him back in here. I mean, this game's quite close to completion. I'm pretty sure one of the Immortals has just died. And with that one Immortal dying, I mean, there's 1 Immortal, 2 Stalkers, a Sentry, and like, what, 7 Zealots left? So, I mean, it looks as though Lambo's going to be able to pull this off. I mean, there's no force fields remaining. These Roaches are just going to be able to swarm forwards. And it looks as though Freya is going to drop from this game. So, I mean, the game is pretty much over, I would say. I mean, 26 more Lings on the way out. There's already an absolute ton of Roaches here. I guess we're just going to have to drop Freya and see what we can do. Return to game. I mean, he does have a second Immortal still, but still no more sentries or anything. Okay, guys. So we've got to get Freya back online and see if he does want to play out the end of this in a couple of moments. So hopefully Freya comes back on. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit awkward. Give me a couple of moments here, guys. I'm just going to try and talk to the leader of Vega Squadron. First match, Kumu, was Freya versus Nomi. Just waiting for a response here from High Art. So, Freya's DC'd. It was very close to what would seem to be the end of the game. And we're just kind of waiting to see if he's going to come back online or not. So, yeah, we've just got a little bit of a weird scenario right now as we try and see what is up. Oh. So, Fury is back, and we're going to just recover this game. As that is what their leader wishes to do, so we will recover from the game and invite these guys in and get ready to go in just a moment or two. So, waiting for Freya to accept in here, guys, and we will start to recover this game. As again, it looks as though it's going to be a pretty quick ending, but we've got to play it out properly. So do wait for Freya to accept his invite. And there we go. So, I'm going to click recover game for 1250, let's say. And the game will begin to recover. So, Overgrowth is reloading now. And let's just give you guys the in-game view of this so you can kind of keep up with it as we do, basically. So, as you can see, our game is recovering. We're going to be back in here, guys. We should be back into this very, very shortly. As we do wait for this just to start up. Not too much else we can do other than wait, as you can see. But hopefully we should be able to get straight back into this and finish this off in just a couple of moments, or finish off this recovery so we can get back into the game. So, guys in the chat, how are you all doing? Hope you're still doing well here as we do wait for this just to finish up recovering. Looks as though we're just about there. And if both players are ready, we will be able to return to game, and in game we go. And the action is all taking place at this third base. So, is Freya going to be able to have enough to continue on here? 6 zealots warped in here. And he's going to come forward with another round of this with so many roaches from so many different angles. The Warpism will come in here to help out them Immortals when they get a bit close to death. The Mothership core is going to fall here, though. Immortals are dropping, but everything is just overrunning from Lambo. And Stalker and Sentry die, and, well, Freya will just retreat back home, where he has started up another Immortal. He's got a 4th Immortal on the way as well, but, I mean, I don't think Lambo is going to be wasting any time at all to just move across the map and to just try stop pressuring these gateways, start getting them to shut down. Another gas has been added on here by Freya. 2 more gas has been added in. Hydra's Den straight away for Lambo. He's not going to wait around at all with making sure he's, you know, he's going to make sure he makes all the right decisions. He has this Warpism. He's going to try and buy time. He's going to fly these Immortals around as best he can to try and do whatever. And yeah, these Immortals do drop off, and we'll take a little bit more damage again. Roger's are heading across the map, which I do like. I think, you know, there's no sentries here. I mean, he probably doesn't know that, but I guess he's seen. I guess he can probably tell. He's probably, you know, in his head saying, right, well, you know, you're basically playing with a very low gas count, so I doubt you have many sentries at home, so it's very risk-free for me to move across here, try to do some damage. Now, some Zealots do warp in. Immortals are going to try and help out, and this is in the main base. At the same time, we're going to see these buildings start to be picked away at the front here. Now, reinforcements should be more than enough to deal with this in the main base, and one Zealot already going down thanks to the Queen. Queen will fall here. But reinforcements not too far away as a force field fills the gap in the wall, and it looks as though for now Lambo will fall back home. Drones actually being pulled here. These Immortals are doing a fair amount of damage, a lot more damage than I really expected them to be able to do. And this is something which actually was just completely negated by Lambo. He said, right, I'm going to counterattack, I'm going to do some damage here. And it's not actually worked out too well for him because he's taking a lot of damage from this drop play. So more Zealots continue to warp in, more Roaches coming in though, and that will definitely help out against this. Drone still running away from a Zealot here. As these Immortals are getting quite far away from the Warpism, they have to make sure not to get too far away. As, well, now actually the Warpism is being chased by Hydralisks. And these Hydralisks are going to keep on chasing the Warpism. In fact, the Immortals are going to be sacrificed. They're going to be left behind. And the last Immortal does go down before the Warpism can come back and save it. So, he loses 2 of the Immortals here, and that immediately puts Freya into a little bit of a dodgy situation once again. Worker count equal, but now we're going to have a Roach Hydra Ling army, and Lambo, I mean, Roach Hydra Ling is kind of a perfect composition. If this had 2 more Immortals in it, 6 6 Immortals. That'd be crazy. A few sentries have been added into this, just a little. And we'll see whether them few force fields he has is going to be enough, as we actually do have a lot of overlords out of position here. Queen out of position as well. Single Link coming across the map to check for a third base, while he just continues to make Hydralisks. +1 Twilight Council all in the way here for Freya, as he comes across the map again. He doesn't have any Mothership Core, he doesn't have anything like that right now. He does have this Warp Prism to count attack within multiple locations. These overlords are a big issue for Lambo, because if he loses all of these, which I mean he can't really save them unless he comes in and fights, then it's a little bit troublesome for him, so he's going to get supply blocked quite heavily here. At the same time, there's no retreat path for these Protoss units, and they are beginning to move forward here. I think Lambo is probably just going to leap on this in a moment or two. So supply blocked though from losing them overlords, and that will hurt in here. A couple of force fields do come down here originally, and is it going to be enough as we start to see these units coming forward, and a lot of Hydras blocked out to the top left side of this, as there's Zerglings coming in for a surround, and well, Stalkers are being peeled off pretty quickly. It looks as though he's just going to be pushed away. The closest pylon is a long way away. Mothership Core does recall, so he gets out of there with the majority of his tech units once again. But how long will he be able to keep this alive for is the question, really, as this is not looking good. Lambo actually stopping to dance his units for a couple of seconds, and I mean, he's gonna. I mean, Freya's trying to start with third base here, but that's just cancelled immediately. No point trying to let that finish. Warp Prism moving along the left-hand side of the map. He's going to be trying to get another. Some more drop play working for him here, as again we're going to see an attack at the front. Freya's still just massing up Immortals, but as the Hydra count increases, I mean, them Immortals become less and less useful, as the Hydra's now going to start picking off these gateways as well, which is going to be very annoying for Freya. The fight really being brought to his front door right now. However, will this Warp Prism be able to do a lot of damage? What will it get done here in the main base of the Zerg player, who is currently 6 drones behind and will probably fall further behind in the work count as this harassment does begin. 3 Zealots already moving forward here. Feelings out, a Hydra as well, going to try and help out as well. Looks as though it should be enough, though. He's got plenty, and he's actually, you know, for free, it has bought some time. He's forced the army to turn around, come back home. However, a bit of a mistake here, sticking around a bit too long with the Warp Prism, and it will fall. And that is not too great of a scenario to end up in. So losing the Warp Prism once again here. Lambo moving across the map with Roaches, Lings, and Hydralisks. Freya with his clump of units here, looking to defend a third bases in the near future. But I mean, how do you truly defend a third base? This is so Hydralisk heavy now. The force fields are going to be crucial. But again, I mean, he doesn't. I guess he's got more force fields than he has previously. The problem is there's no real splash damage past the Immortals. So Ling Hydra, it just does so well against this kind of composition. As some units start to come up here, Lambo decides to disengage. However, so he will start just backing away from this and thinking twice about what exactly he wants to do here, as he actually does now turn around and starts to come in once again. Again, a complete surround on a lot of this army. Force fields have come down, but a few Hydras have slipped through, and they're going to take down these Immortals very, very quickly. Now, a lot of these Immortals do fall, and in fact, that's going to be all it takes to force Freya to type out the GG and to let Alternate even up this series now 1-1. So, guys, get us ready to go into this third game of this best of 7 all kill. Looks as though we are all good now, and in the upper left hand corner we're going to be starting up here with the teal Zerg player from Alternate. It's Lambo. His opponent in the upper right hand corner will be from Vega Squadron, and will be in the green. It is Hope, the Swedish Zerg player here. So, very strong lineup coming out of Vega Squadron today. Starting up for Freya, going straight into Hope afterwards. So, a very strong lineup from them as well. You know, probably one of the better lineups they can send out. I'd say Freya, Hope, both very strong members of their team. Ever since they lost like Elfie, etc., I guess they still have Live Zerg on their team, right? And if I'm not mistaken, they still have Live Zerg. So that would probably be the nail in the coffin in terms of trying to send out their strongest lineup. So, we'll see how this goes anyway. We'll see how Hope does in this game. We do have Lambo already starting up with a hatchery first. Pull into hatchery for Hope. So just a couple of things being done slightly differently here by both of these players to get things underway. So, always nice to see, as we have the pool finishing up here actually for Hope. He's actually going to start a gas as well, just after the gas of Lambo. So overall here, Lambo's actually coming out of this in a pretty nice scenario. He's gone away with the hatchery first. He's getting his gas at the same time. So there shouldn't be any real differences between these guys, but Lambo's probably going to end up 1-2 drones ahead or so at any point, so it's a nice, very slight advantage here, as Hope's going to start putting a couple of drones into this gas, get that gas mining going. His first couple of lings are going to start heading out on the map to try and get some information. He knows his opponent's in the top left after this first overlord was sent down to the south, so he knows he needs to head up to the top left hand side to try and get a little bit of information about what exactly his opponent's getting up to, and Lambo making 2 Zerglings of his own right now will probably be looking to do the similar sort of thing with them Zerglings, just trying to get some information wherever he can. So yeah, we've got them Zerglings coming across here, there, and everywhere. So yeah, we've got Zerglings coming across the map. Excuse me, just had to tab just to double check something. So these Zerglings getting across here, and they've not made it into the main base just yet. They will take a couple of hits from the Zerglings of Lambo, but they will get in here nonetheless. The Queen will be able to start picking away at these, and both players, of course, with their Zergling speed now started, have also actually continued in the gas mining. So both players are going to go into a very fast Baneling nest as well here. So we're going to be a little bit of Ling Baneling wars to begin things as Lambo drops his as soon as he can. And there goes the Baneling nest for Hope as well. So the question now becomes, which of these players wants to be the aggressor and which of these players wants to be the defender? Because as it stands, they can't be both, right? They can't, as it stands, what it's going to come down to, one of them is going to attack and the other one's going to choose to defend. But at the moment, both of them are making lings, so it might be that they do end up meeting in the middle of the map. Lambo with a few more lings on the way than his opponent. Of course, that is pretty good for Hope, really, because he's already going to have a few lings out, he's going to have balance, so he should be able to fend off, and he'll be fending off with a worker lead to fall back on as well. Already 5 workers ahead with 3 more on the way, 4 more, he's going to end up about 6-7 workers ahead, as Lambo's also adding on some workers too, now with his first few lings starting to come out on the map, and speed about a finish, we'll start to see this aggression begin to take shape. But again, I don't think anything too significant should come from it. 4 Banelings on the way, 5 Banelings. Ooh, a Roach-Ron from Lambo. Okay, so he's actually going to choose it all in here. He's going to go for kind of a Roach Banel in, I would imagine. So no ledge, just straight into the Roach-Ron here, no evolution chambers or anything like that. First Banel was wasted there. There's a lot of Banelings in total here coming forward, and these first few Zerglings, they will actually turn away. This one Banelin is actually going to get a nice shot off and brings a lot of these Banelings low, which is scary. As now Banelings are running all over the place and just being used up on a couple of lings at a time, which isn't ideal by any stretch of the imagination. These Banelings have to turn around because they can't go too close to the Queen, because if they go too close to the Queen, and he actually has 2 Banelings for 2 Banelings there, too close to the Queen, he would have just got picked off. A Spine Crawler here for Hope will help him in his defenses. He's got a lair on the way, so this game, it shouldn't be looking to go on for too long here, because Lambo is making a ton of overlords. He's got more lings out, and he is starting that Roach production, so we're expecting to see him attack here and really make the best of it very, very soon. Although 7 overlords, they're starting to get a little bit excessive in terms of, how many overlords do you really need? He's on 58 out of 92 now, and he's got 2 more on the way. Could just be a case that he's saying he made some and then he didn't, he's like, shit, I'm still supplied. Look, did I actually make them or what? Only 5 roaches on the way, it's now 7, now 9, so this attack is coming in the future. Now 10 roaches until the roach one's on the way up for Hope as well, who is kind of running around with these Zerglings here. Not really able to achieve too much, actually losing more Zerglings than anything else, but these Zerglings looking as though they actually will begin to get into this main base, and this is huge. If they can scout that there's no lair up here, in fact just seeing the roaches might be enough to just tip Hope off that he might need another Spine Crawler or so. To be able to deal with this. More lings on the way now. Again, they're going to be used as reinforcements. Some lings already peeling ahead, and they will be used to morph into Banelings to help with this initial attack. So Baneling hits from Hope are going to be very, very important. He's got 10 roaches of his own on the way. And again, if he holds this off, it's very much a great scenario for him, because he ends up with roach speed, he ends up with +1, he ends up in a position where he's just going to have more efficient units for the rest of the game, and Lambo's always going to be trying to play catch up. So unless Lambo does some serious damage here, Hope should be looking good. So here we go, the Banelings are going to start coming up the ramp now. The roaches actually come forward here. The Banelings, one of them actually getting picked off here, as the Banelings actually decided to just come forward, and ooh, that leaves actually 5 Banelings here for Lambo, as Hope doesn't really get any connections on his Banelings. These Banelings are all going to connect on a lot of these roaches. In fact, Hope in a lot of trouble. That was a lot of splash damage which came in there. Lings are going to keep coming forward here as well, and we might not even see +1 finish or come into this game, as Lambo looks as though he may have broken the front door. Lings and roaches slowly working away on anything which is popping out of the lava of his opponent. 28 more Zerglings on the way, still a solid number of roaches at the front, and Lambo is actually starting to take a pretty decent supply lead as well. 30 supply up right now, still chasing down roaches. Natural, completely broken. Hope is down 15 workers as well. Now, +1 is about to finish on these roaches for Hope, but it might just be at that point where there's just too many roaches for Lambo that the upgrades don't really matter too much. Here come more Zerglings here, as both of these guys are just going to dance around each other and play the game of, you know, who's going to attack where. And it looks as though Hope will fall here. GG is out, and Lambo takes game number 3 and puts his team up into the lead for the first time here today. So, game 4 here in Vega Squadron versus Alternate, just setting up the scoreboard, and we will be in game, guys. So, the score 1-2 right now in favour of Alternate, and with that, we shall go in game and introduce our blue Zerg player in the lower right hand corner. Lambo from Alternate here in the lower right. Again, if they can beat Vega Squadron here, Alternate are going to be looking very scary to be able to maybe even make it into the playoffs, because again, Vega Squadron, they were second last season. They were so dominant in the group stages. They've already shown this season they're looking pretty good with a 3-1 score. Alternate, I mean, if they can beat Vega, they should be able to beat Mouse Control and ECV, which are the matches they've missed, which would put them at 5-0. And then, I mean, Vega is probably one of the toughest teams they're going to get, apart from Mayan Sanity. So, Alternate really have a great chance here, and 2-1 up. If Lambo can make this a 3-1 advantage, who knows how this could end. In the upper right hand corner, we do have from Vega Squadron the red Protoss player. He is DMC. We just talked a little bit about him and how he was playing in the Foreign Hope tournament. And yeah, Vega Squadron, despite actually being 3-1 in match score, they've had some very close games. They only won against ESC and Carnage Esports with 4-3 victories. So, you know, while last season they were very dominant, they dropped very few maps through the entire season, this season they're already not looking quite as great. So, you know, we'll keep an eye on this and, you know, keep seeing how they're doing. But right now, with only a +2 map score, it kind of tells you about, you know, they're definitely not being as dominant as they used to be. So I'm just going to pause my stream here to make sure the FPS is staying good, and that actually helps out a ton. So, a little bit weird. That actually never usually have to pause the stream, but nonetheless, it's not like it makes that much of a difference here, as Lambo does get his hatchery down. Being forced into a pool first here, just because that probe would have blocked it if it was going to be a hatchery first. How was he in that tourney though? He qualified. You know, he went through the qualifier. He came top 2 in the qualifier, and he qualified into the tournament. Now, it was a little bit of a shame actually, because I think the qualifier was like a little bit like, everyone said they were going to try qualify, and he had Maddles had loads of good signups, and then no one actually checked into the qualifier, and it was a bit like, well, it's DMC. And he must have beat a couple of guys to get that far though into the qualifier. I'm going to actually just check that very quickly, because not much is happening right now. We've got a Nexus down here after a Gateway expand for Unhope qualifier. So DMC actually ended up beating, oh wow, he beat Danisgod, Zapek, Mafarazzo, Lilicanon, and then Marine Lord. So he beat Marine Lord having come through Goody, E-Laser, Namshar on his side of the bracket, Waka. So yeah, DMC with a 3-2 victory over Marine Lord. That's what got him into that tournament. Don't I need delay? We are on delay. We have a 3-minute delay set. Excuse me, we still have this silly overlay up. Excuse me for that. We have delay set. We've got a 3-minute delay on the stream. So, we do actually have a Zerglin here. Let's focus a little bit more about being in-game. We have a Zerglin which is actually coming in to scatter around inside of this main base right now. We'll see if he can find any information, which is not going to actually be too much to find. He sees a Chronobus on a Stalker, which is a little something, as a third base is on the way down here for Lambo. So, fairly quick 3 bases again. It's gasless play from him, so just opening gasless here, Lambo, just choosing again to play this way. This is how he played against Freya. It worked out quite well for him, and we'll see what DMC is going to maybe try and throw at him. Just on a couple of gases right now. We should see this 3rd and 4th gas coming up in the next couple of minutes, if he wants to take them. So we'll keep our eyes out on that. As Zealot Stalker and Mothership Core could definitely move across the map and go for a little bit of aggression if they would like. There's the Twilight Council, so DMC straight away here going to be saying, right, it's going to be aggression from the get-go. I mean, if this was going to be a 3rd base build, then we would generally see, or 3 base build, we would generally see a Forge come down before a Twilight Council, etc., etc. So Forge not absent here, which suggests we're either going to see some very fast DTs or very fast blink all in, and we're still yet to see these extra gases come down the natural, so looking more and more like a blink all in, I would say. And as time passes here, a couple of gateways being added on at the front. What's going to come out of this Twilight Council? Is it going to be blink or what? He starts up blink. This Overlord is actually going to spot this immediately though, so immediately this is not great for DMC because Lambo has a perfect read on what he's doing. Now, you know, there will be mind games here. He'll have to start asking himself, you know, did he cancel blink and go for a Dark Shrine? Or did he not? Either way, he could probably prepare for both because the Twilight Council was finished. You know, it's not going to be a cancel on Twilight Council, so, you know, it has to be blink or DTs or completely different tech route, in which case, if he prepared for blink and DTs, you know, he wouldn't necessarily be behind because DMC's next tech route would be so delayed as well. 4 extra gateways on the way up here, which will take him to 7 gateways until he's taking a third gas now, and that will be down at the naturals. He does begin to move out with this probe Rotron already well on the way. Those spores and spines being added on. A few Zerglings already out, a couple of Overlords on the way for Lambo. It looks as though he's just building up, getting ready to swarm with roaches here. The first few units on the way across the map, but there's not much here at all yet. For Lambo, in terms of defense, he's on 52 drones. There is the first 10 roaches on the way in right now. Zergling speed should finish up as well here. The Spine Crawler is going to help out quite a bit as well. And our units are actually going to sit on this low ground here and try and be as annoying as they can. Spore Crawler is actually going to reposition to try and get to deter that Mothership Core from giving the high ground vision here. Spore Crawler should be able to burrow. He actually moves it back a little bit. He gets out of range of them Stalkers. So nice little play there by Lambo. And DMC will just sit back and wait a little while. This was the map Zest used this kind of build on against Sue in the GSL finals. And, you know, he was doing a load of fancy stuff with Blink here. So can DMC maybe show us a little bit of that as the roaches do actually begin to engage here. Blink is ready. Spinecrawler is actually in range to help fighting as well. Look at this. Lambo swelling with confidence as he just moves forward here. Trades very well against these initial Stalkers. Gets a lot of the shields off of them. Oh, and a Blink forward there by DMC. Might have been a little bit overzealous. He loses a couple of Stalkers. He's actually going to lose his pylon here maybe. Depends on what's targeted down. He does get the pylon. No, not before the warpins, but the pylon does go down and actually supply blocks DMC. But now Blinks forward onto these roaches. A lot of these Stalkers low on hit points. The Mothership Core quite low on hit points as well. That will move away from that Spore Crawler now. Lings and roaches just swarming out here though, and will continue to chase to this next pylon. Another pylon starting up immediately, but DMC is pushed very far back here. Probe goes down as well. And Lambo is doing a great job so far. He turns and fights now. He's not on creep, so it's much harder for him to retreat in this scenario. So just needs to be very, very careful. More Lings and more roaches on the way. Turns to fight again. Maybe for a moment he's going to get another creep tumor out here, which will help give him a little bit more space to move around. Spore Crawler looking as though it will finish burrowing here, and that will allow it to deflect that Mothership Core a little bit more easily. So as these Stalkers continue to march forward here, Lambo is actually going to hit a bit of a supply block. He loses that Spore Crawler, but at the same time, oh, the Blink up to the high ground. Okay, well, this is interesting. Spinecrawler is in position here. Roaches are going to come forward too, and Lings as well. Now, he is behind the minerals, so the Lings can't get the best of surface area, and he will start blinking away, but there's roaches on the low ground to greet these Stalkers, which blink down there. Not that many roaches, though, so he's going to be able to blink out and save the majority of this, but I don't think that was the right decision. He took a lot of damage up there. His Stalker count was severely reduced. And right now we can see the resource loss is fairly even, a little bit in favour of the pros player, but of course as Zerg is working off of more workers. And as roaches come in here once again, these Queens even helping out from the high ground. You know, any bit of extra DPS he can add in here is great, and a couple of Stalkers here at the back are getting very low on hit points and starting to go down as well, thanks to them Queens. And all of a sudden, a lot of these Stalkers looking very bruised. As roaches keep coming forward here. Wow, they're just going to keep on moving. They want to pick off some of these Stalkers. Has Lambo got a bit too far, though? I mean, he's next to the warping pylon here. He's killing off a lot of these Stalkers. Yes! And I guess he's got more reinforcements always on the way, too. He's starting up a lair behind this macro hatchery as well to keep spending his money. He's going to lose all of these units, but he has killed off a lot of the Stalkers, which is something he wasn't able to do if he didn't chase these down. So, I guess this was kind of okay for him. Looking back at that resource loss tab, still a little bit in favour of our pros players, gone a little bit more in favour of him since we last looked at it, but I still believe simply the extra drones here will be making up for that, although it's only 4 worker difference now. Another Spine Core so on be added on to the mineral line of the natural as DMC continues to warp in here. You know, obviously Lambo doesn't want to fight until the last possible moment, and that will be when the army comes forward to him on his creep. Mothership Core does now go down. Spinecrawler is repositioning on the high ground here. It's not enough roaches though, because honestly these Zealots have cleaved through these Zerglings quite easily. The Zealots are now going down. That will just leave the Stalkers versus the roaches. They do have Blink, remember, here, as we see Lambo continuing to move forward. His supplies are closer than it's been all game long. And, well, DMC is actually only 6 supply behind right now, so this is actually really starting to work out for him here. He's really starting to do the damage he needs to do, and well, more Stalkers coming up this ramp once again. Is it going to be enough here? This Blink Micro will have to be pristine as more Queens helping out, coming in to join the fight. A Spinecrawler helps to take down a Zealot. The second Spinecrawler is going to help a lot, of course. You know, with that Mothership Core now dead, he can allow these Spinecrawlers to sit at the front instead of elsewhere. Not that many Roaches in this army, actually. I think Lambo needs to be very careful, back off once again, and just wait. Really needs to fight on creep with pretty much all of it, everything he can, aka these Spinecrawlers. Lings coming in once again. They're going to be very useful for tanking, but they can't quite get through just yet. The Roaches, the Zealots at the front go down very quickly. The Roaches will now start meeting these Stalkers once again on this creep. The Stalkers are blinking their hearts out, and in fact there may just be too many Stalkers here, as Lambo just does not seem to have enough. He's going to have to fall back up his ramp. He's got a Hydraless Den on the way. If you can get a few Hydras out, maybe that will help, but is he going to have enough to tank at the same time? I'm not too sure. This is still completely all in from DMC. He falls back once again. He actually hits a supply block here. 3 pylons on the way. He's repositioned one of the Spinecrawlers just in case, as some Stalkers actually blink up here. A little bit interesting. Now the rest of the Stalkers going to blink up, avoiding one of these Spinecrawlers. The other Spinecrawler is actually going to finish Burrow, and it will actually get one shot off there before going down. These Queens helping out. A lot of transfusers available, and that will help the efficiency of this army. 6 Hydras on the way as well. The DPS on these Hydras will be pretty big here, as the Stalkers do blink to the low ground once again. Both the Roaches, okay, one of them gets away. Hydras now in this army, so it becomes a much different scenario once again in this game. As these Stalkers backing off a little bit. Lambo has reopened this supply gap to about 20 once again here. Resources lost really starting to be in the Protoss players' favour here. Main bases are starting to mine out. Natural's very healthy though. So I mean, again, with time, with a third base, of course, Lambo will take the advantage. If he can just keep holding on, and that's what it's all about now. As Spinecrawlers are repositioning, there's a lot of Queens able to transfuse here. Pulls back to get these Zealots in front, to get the Lings in front to help tank, and well, these Hydras are going to add on so much DPS. Is it going to be enough, as he is going to push this back a lot more easily than he has been doing? The supply gap up to about 30 now, and he's actually going to keep on chasing, but will he overcommit again? No, he actually pulls back, I feel, with plenty of time to spare, so pulls back. He's going to be a lot safer after maybe overcoming a little bit earlier. A single Overseer here. He's actually going to see a Forge on the way, so he's going to see that, well, his opponent's actually going to try and start transitioning out of this a bit, as a third Nexus comes down as well. So DMC is going to keep on expanding here, going to actually try and transition out of this all-in, which has been going on for 10 plus minutes now, or, you know, thereabouts. Lings, Hydras, not many Roaches being made. He actually cancels his gas. He's going to, you know, he's not going to take up too much. He takes Muscular Augments, he adds on the Evolution Chamber to match his opponent in upgrades. And the Stalker's just sitting on the edge of this creep still. It's so hard to move out though with slow Hydralisks. You know, it's almost impossible to move out and, you know, realistically be able to, you know, think you're going to achieve something. So these Stalkers do allow for DMC to just fall back for now. Now, of course, the main problem will be, what does he do off of 3 bases? Because he's very far away from any kind of splash damage, apart from maybe Storm. As an Infestation Pit comes down for Lambo, maybe we're going to just see, I mean, 2 options for Lambo. He either goes into Vipers and hits a Roach Hydra Viper timing in such a way that, you know, his opponent just hasn't had time to get up a significant number of Colossi, so you can just yank all the Colossi he needs. Or he just goes into Swarm Host, because he says it's going to be a long time till you get well, he's going to go Hive, so he's not going to go Storm Host yet anyway. But he could go Storm Host and just say, I'm going to lay siege to you before you have enough Colossi out, and it's going to put you in a bit of troublesome position. Lambo has found a way to drone up to 60 drones now. DMC sitting on 48 probes, continuing to make those though. As the Berserk player is going to be quite happy at the prospect of actually spreading his creep across the map, taking a 4th base as well. Stalkers move forward here, they can blink away of course. Have to be careful. I mean, the Lings can chase, and that's what they're doing. And a couple of Stalkers will end up falling here. So there's 2, and there's actually a 3rd, and maybe a 4th Stalker. Yes, it will be. Sentries don't actually catch that many Zerglings at all. Maybe 3 or 4 with the force fields. And again, it's just a pure gateway army right now. I mean, once these Vipers come into play, it's going to be a very, very scary scenario for our Protoss player to deal with. If he's going to be able to deal with it at all, even. So yeah, still just backing off. We've got +2 in charge starting up here from DMC. Robo on the way as well, as he starts to get a Warp Prism, trying to slow his opponent down a little bit maybe. slows his opponent down, keep him on his own side of the map while he gets up to this Colossus deck, gets a significant, gets enough Colossi out. DMC has a lot of money floating around here, so I mean he's going to start extending from a Lance and a Colossus, so I guess that's going to take away a lot of the money. But may just be worthwhile for him to invest in a Templar Archives right now to be able to start dealing with the incoming Vipers. Although I don't know if he really, I mean he hasn't seen the hive at all, so he has no idea about this. Greeted by Ling Roach is this Warp Prism. Units moving through the middle of the map here, no Observer with them, so Queen's going down, but the creep will remain for a little while longer. Single Zerglin spots the 4th base on the way. And Nexus being targeted down, this Warp Prism's backed off. Plenty of units here for Lambo in position, as we do have the Vipers starting to consume and get their energy up. So I mean the time of an attack is soon. Only a single Colossus is going to be out, and that's going to be very, very scary in terms of, how is this really going to go down? A couple of Hallucinated Phoenix come in. I don't think he's spotted the Vipers yet. He will see the hive, but again, he doesn't know exactly the timing of, Vipers, etc. Warp Prism's still not really being utilized just yet, as the Hallucinated Phoenix get all the way into the 3rd base. And it looks as though this may be the timing attack from Lambo. He's maxed out. It's time for him to go. I mean, again, this is just basically a gateway army. Once that first Colossus goes down, we can see some Blinding Clouds maybe come into this as well. We're actually going to see him commit all the way into the 4th base here. Single Colossus isn't going to be enough. Here come the Vipers coming in here to get that yank down. There's the Abduct. Colossus goes down very quickly. And of course, these Zealots should melt. Blinding Clouds are well placed as well to help out with this. Roach is now coming in from the bottom side of the map as well. And DMC just gets absolutely destroyed here. Roach Hive will just continue to move forward. Zealots are going to be picked off here very, very quickly, very swiftly. And, Lambo, he's just been building up to this one attack. He knew it would probably work out because of, the fact he held off from that all in. And it has worked out for him. Stalker's tried to blink to the low ground to stay alive, but I mean, 3rd base will fall. The 4th base, which was on the way, has already fallen. This Colossus is actually going to have to walk into a bit of a funny position to try and stay alive at the moment, because it's been rallied into a bit of a sad situation, and GG is called. DMC taps out. And that puts Alternate now at a 3-1 lead here in this best of 7 all-kill. To pull things back around for himself here and for his team. So guys, let's go into the game. We are loading on up. Pause the stream to get some better FPS going on. Because again, my FPS is a bit off today. I don't know if it's because I'm recording things slightly differently for YouTube, and that could be the issue. I'm going to have to look into it a little bit more once we're done streaming. So guys, we're actually going to be starting with Vega Squadron's play in the upper left hand corner. In the green, he's one of their newer members. He is Straight Edge. Just joined the team at the start of Season 3 of the SC2ITL. The 3rd season where they're hoping to go one better than last season, where they did end up 2nd. But I mean, if we lost here today already, Vega Squadron, they already don't seem to be the team they were last season. And yes, they've lost Johnny Rico, they lost Elfie. But still, I mean, they just don't seem to quite be the team they used to be. Even games which they are winning, they're winning very narrowly. 4-3 ESC, 4-3 Carnage. And the ESC, Carnage aren't the best teams in the league right now. I mean, Carnage has always been strong, but they've always struggled. ESC was strong, but they've had a lot of changes. They lost Showtime, who's gone to Alternate now. They're definitely weaker than they were last season. So, Vega really having some trouble, and they really need a victory here today. I mean, upcoming weeks, mouse control should be an okay-ish match for them. Team Extreme Supremacy should be manageable as well. But still, I'm pretty sure they don't want to have lost 2 maps before the first half, 2 matches before the first half of the season is over. In the upper right-hand corner, we have from Alternate, the Teal Zerg player. He's won 3 in a row. You know who he is by now. It's Alternate's Lambo. Alright, good stuff, guys, as he's just going to be opening up with a hatchery first here in this game. So hatchery first on the way for Lambo. And yeah, not too surprising, I guess. Kind of surprising that Straight Edge is going to open with a non-Nexus first build here, actually. Fortunately for Lambo, he's actually here already with his Overlords. He's going to find his opponent in the first position he scouts. He's going to get all the information he needs. He's going to see it's a gateway expand, Cybercore on the way as well, so he knows what's up. He doesn't actually go as far as to check that second gas. I guess he just doesn't want to risk losing the Overlord. I mean, once it's over here, it's going to take a lot longer to get back over there, so it might be that he would lose it. He actually turns around again, though, so maybe not. He's going to come back in here and see what's up. He actually opens with a free hatchery before pool play here, so he's going to see the probe on the way to make a Nexus. And this is really nice start for Lambo. He's going to get off to a really great economy with these three hatcheries already on the way before the pool. So nice strong start from Lambo here. Really going to be looking for the macro game. As this overlord, I mean, again, it hesitated as to where it wanted to go. Now it does see that lack of gas. It should just make it over here before Stalker comes out. In fact, we've got another Zealot on the way. In fact, is that the first Zealot? Yes, it is. The first Zealot on the way. No Stalker just yet. No Warp Gate, but Mothership Core does come out here. So, yeah, early Mothership Core. Not too much else to say right now. That Nexus is on the way in the natural as well as he starts to take his second gas. And Straight Edge has no idea what his opponent is up to at all because he is yet to leave his natural. Now he begins to move out here with the Mothership Core. But he's just going to leave that the natural ramp to watch any Zerglings coming in here. So, so you know, it's the scenario right now where the third hatchery is going to finish up for Lambo. He's going to start again just droning like crazy. And Straight Edge, without knowing what he's up against, can't do anything about it. He can't punish it at all. It's a little bit of a... it's a little bit of a weird scenario. Mad the Swine. Straight Edge, more like Homo Smooth. Just picking the opposite of his name. I wonder what the opposite of Lambo is. Does Lambo have any meaning? I don't think. I mean, Lambo is kind of short for Lamborghini. If you Google Lambo, you get Lamborghini. So what's the opposite of Lamborghini? Some really crappy car. Well, I mean, that's not too exciting, is it? So, anyways, a couple of Zealots are moving across the map with this Mothership Core. Another Zealot on the way out. So actually a lot of aggression coming down here straight away, but 3 Queens are actually already coming down to greet this, and this should be dealt with fairly easily along with these Zerglings as the Overlord is going to come in, going to spot the Stargate, and that's going to be a nice little scout to begin with here. First Queen is actually going to go down. Ling's trying their best here now. The Queens are targeting down that Mothership Core, as the Zealots are going to go down. That Mothership Core will escape as well. Heavy loss actually, 2 Zealots for 2 Queens is actually a really nice trade for our Protoss player. As he now has an Oracle on the way as well, so he's really actually just hoping to deny anti-air of his opponent, and then to come in with the Oracle and try and then yeah, I would imagine he's just going to try and abuse it with the Oracle as he comes in here. As he comes in with that very shortly. A bunch of Zerglings coming in, and Zealot comes forward here and does greet these Zerglings. Oracle revealed as well, so his plan kind of revealed, but not the end of the world. I mean, you know, I guess this Oracle is going to be useful for more than just kind of killing drones. He does clean up all of the Zerglings, which is nice. Lair does start now for Lambo. He does have Zergling speed on the way as well. He's still committing to just Zerglings right now. No, you know, seeing the Stargate, he doesn't feel like he needs a Rotron, so he's just going to completely skip that. And we'll see where he goes from the Lair. What kind of tech he's going to invest in there. Maybe Ling Hydra into a Mutatech switch. Could go straight to Mutalisks as well, though I don't really like that as much. Could maybe just throw an Infestation Pit down. No upgrades just yet, though, and that's something we've got to know from Lambo. What is he going to get from them Evolution Chambers once he does decide to build them? 15 more drones on the way for him right now, as Zerglings are going to come in here, surround the Zealot. That's going to go down very quickly. Probably going to go down here as well. Another Zealot being warped in, and Lambo's just going to wrap around this and take it down straight away. And continue to do damage here. So maybe able to pick up a pylon, so maybe delay the... okay, Oracle comes in, he will save it. Obviously these pylons set up in such a way so you can drop the cannon and wall it off for some gateways. If you could deny that a little while, it could have allowed him to maybe do a little bit more, but he's not making more Zerglings at all here, so it's not like it's necessary. Straight into the Spire then for Lambo, dropping that in the back of his main base, so he's just going to go straight into the Spire's tech and see what he can get done with it. Yeah, I mean, I don't really like it when when Zerglings go straight to Spire. I always feel as though Ling Hydra or, you know, whatever, into a Mutalisks tech switch can work so much better. So, so yeah. Matt the Swin. Did I say Swin? I thought I said Swine. I apologize. I did read it as Mad the Swine, so I do apologize. If Straight Edge is Vega's idea of an ace right now, then I wouldn't call it a slam dunk for them against Team Extreme Supremacy even. No, that's true. I mean, Team Extreme Supremacy are very good. Just basically historically, based on performances we've already seen, I would imagine Vega would go into it still being the favourites. But again, I mean, based on today, actually, I would probably sort of favour Team Extreme Supremacy a bit more as well myself. Now, we do have a Spire about to finish up here, so we're about to start getting into the interesting part of the game, where we're going to actually start seeing the Zerg player tech up, get some tech units out. A few Zerglings run into this third base here, but won't be able to get a single kill. Did they get probe? I don't think they did. I think the probe got away, so not too much interest going on. First 10 Mutalisks on the way, Blink's on the way for our Protoss play. He's also got +1 about to finish up here, so I mean, he's getting into an okay position to deal with Mutalisks because he does have a Stargater as well, so he can go straight into Phoenix production. But as it stands right now, he actually doesn't have any anti-air, so this first wave of Mutalisks may catch him way off guard, and that could be really painful for him. However, spotted by the Oracle, and that is perfect. So immediately he can start coming in here with the with some Stalker Warpins. He can start adding on some Phoenixes and start preparing for this, as already these Mutants are going straight towards this natural expansion where we might have to see a Photon Overcharge used to deflect this. The Mutants are actually going to join up with the Zerglings and maybe go straight in towards the third base. There's only a cannon over here, and in fact Warpin's being used in the main/natural. There's nothing here to really deal with this third base, so Mutants are actually targeting down a gateway. I don't think that's the right decision. I think they meant to go for the cannon, and that is what he's now going to go for. Photon Overcharge starts to come down here first. Well, Mothership Core picked off, and the first Phoenix picked off as well. Not good control at all so far by Straight Edge. This third base is in a lot of trouble. Mutants are zoning out the army, and Zerglings are just dealing with the Nexus. As this Colossus and Stalker composition is trying to get over here, but it's just not going to be soon enough, and the third base falls. And Lambo doing a great job so far at the start of this game, coming in and engaging onto this army. He's just so confident. There's just not enough anti-air still. Despite seeing these Mutants with the Oracle, it's just still not been enough for him. He's just not getting enough anti-air in here at all. And a Phoenix is actually just sitting there with AFK, not helping. The first Phoenix was already picked off kind of because it wasn't controlled at all. These Mutants are going to keep committing forward, maybe try and catch that Phoenix. I mean, the Mutants are going down here, but the Lings continue to swell forward. Now the Colossus will be the next target, and that will fall quite quickly too. 3 Phoenix on the way at a time, but right now his problem is probably the Zerglings, because the Zerglings are going to wreak havoc here unless he gets some serious warp-ins in very, very shortly. Phoenix continue to fall as well. Straight Edge just types GG, and just like that, we do see Vega Squadron fall to alternate 4 games to 1, and that will be that for that best of 7 all-kill. Alternate come out victorious. Lambo with the all-kill. Perfect play from him today. And Vega Squadron not looking like their usual selves.